Hey everybody, Happy New Year. This is the first vlog that I made of the new year. And yeah, so it's kind of, I'm thinking, I had to stop myself. I thought, wow, this is the first vlog I made of the new year. I thought, is that right? That can't be right. And I thought, my God, I got to get cracking. And well, I needed to do something about Las Vegas Stadium because, well, I'm headed to Las Vegas for CES and for the 10th year in a row. For the 10th year in a row. And while I'm at CES, it's going to be, and I'm going to do something before I leave, but it's going to be a tech, and more tech and consumer tech. I'm going to do something about tech tomorrow. But um, uh, I didn't do anything. Well, I wanted to rephrase that. I wanted to make sure I did something before I left. Okay. So happy New Year. We can say Happy New Year because this is the first vlog of the new year, right? And I rightly toyed with the idea of, hey, Patrick and Blackman, I rightly toyed with the idea of doing sort of a vlog on something I wrote about Oakland, but I thought, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to my guns, mainly because of information I found out from a source. Um, as we say, a source close to the action, right? Look, here's the news, okay? The news is, I think, best described in this way. You've seen now all of these pretty pictures from the I-15 angle, mostly, except Joseph Amenderis' great vlog from Christmas Day, of the Allegiant Stadium or Las Vegas Stadium, future home of the Raiders. And hey, John Akala, and hey, Patrick and Blackman, how you all doing? Right, but you've seen all that, and you've undoubtedly heard the constant noise that it's time to get ready for the Las Vegas Raiders, and that the Las Vegas Raiders are uh, the next iteration of the NFL team, right? Well, and then you may have heard some reporters say, well, John Gruden says that they're not going to be leaving Oakland or Napa until August. I didn't, from what I understood, they were going to stay at that training camp for another year until uh, until the other facility was ready. Happy New Year, and then the headquarters. So we're not going to leave those there until August, folks. Las Vegas is not yet ready. Okay, and you have forces. You have people there. I'm not going to say forces. People who are trying to push the Raiders along so that they can sell more sponsorships. They still only have 9 sponsorships sold, and by Oakland Raiders president Mark Badane's own statement, the Raiders need to sell 12. He said that, okay? And Mark's a numbers guy. Mark is not a football guy, and I'm not saying that to be jocular. He personally told me that, and in fact, I'll. This is worth sharing. I will explain to you how that came up. I was at the NFL Fall Owners meeting in New York, which was at the beautiful Conrad Hotel. It's one of those hotels that I simply must say that you must see before you die. Beautiful place, okay? And if you haven't seen it, hey, Zinny62 here on YouTube, just type Conrad Hotel. You'll get a nice look at it. I have a great live stream that takes you around. But I digress, okay? It was at the Conrad that I had this idea, because I like to come up with play ideas, right? So I had this idea for a particular adjustment in the Raiders, how the Raiders run the I formation, featuring at the time Marshawn Lynch. This was 2017. And so I stopped to tell Mark Bedane about it. He was walking by, and I like Mark. Okay, this is not. No one should ever construe anything that I say as negative toward Mark Bedane. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Mark is a friend. I consider him a friend. Case closed. End of story. Now, Mark said, "Football. Well, that's not me. That's not my area." He's the guy that make sure the Raiders have enough money to coming in to keep the lights on. That's what Mark Bedane does as team president. There are different types of team presidents. Some team presidents are football people. Other team presidents are facilities people. Some are a mix. Like, for example, my friend Kofi Bonner, when he was hired by the Cleveland Browns in 1998 to be the chief administrative officer there, he was the guy that makes absolutely sure the lights are on, right? That's what Kofi was about. Okay, he was also the government representative guy because that was his background as well. And he was the expert in building the stadium because he built, you didn't know this, but you should know this now. Kofi Bonner built the new Cleveland Browns Stadium. I repeat, Kofi Bonner built the new Cleveland Browns Stadium. Period. Okay. Um, and so and so Bedane, it's not Bedane's area to know the football side. It's his area to know the facility side. Okay, that's what he does. Uh, that's his thing. So it's uh, David Hawkins says I can't tell if he's towing the company line or what. That's an interesting point. All right, Mark tows. Mark as team president has the luxury of creating the company line and then towing it at the same time. He does it in conjunction in I should say partnership, if you in a sense, with Raider owner Mark Davis, right? But he has the luxury of making the decisions. That's what team presidents do. He's the team president, and he does that, I think, quite well. So um, he's got a tough job, and I think he's handled it with aplomb. Uh, John Mark says there are some people who hate the stadium design of the new Cleveland football stadium. Well, that's beside the point. The bottom line is Kofi got it done. All right. Uh, anyway, what I'm explaining to you, all that to say this. Okay, look, my source simply says that the Raiders have until March to tell the Coliseum authority and the city of Oakland, the county of Alameda, which ownership change doesn't really take effect just yet. Okay, at least not through this period. Um, whether or not they're in or out. The deadline is April 1st. Okay. Meaning, and what I'm told is this: March is actually the time the Raiders have to say something. They can't go beyond April 1st because, as it's put to me, look, they need to know what the Raiders are going to do. And from what I understand, from my conversation, they're not interested in a partial stay. If the Raiders are going to stay, they have to pay 10.5 million. That's it. That's the way that is. From what I understand, from what I was told from my very well placed source, pure and simple, it's like this. Hey, the Raiders have until April 1st. I was told March. In fact, when we were talking, the conversation was such that my source said, my friend said, hey, they have until March. And I said, wait a minute, I thought the deadline was April 1st. And my source said, well, really, it's March. By April 1st, that's just too late. That's it. Okay, that's the time when they should have notified us by then. So it's really March. Okay. Um, so there you are. All right. So all that stuff that you're seeing about, well, the Raiders are definitely headed out, and oh, the stadium is marching forward, and all this. The Raiders have not talked to Henry Gardner. Henry Gardner is the current executive director of the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Joint Powers Authority. The Raiders have not given a sign to anybody in the city of Oakland or the county of Alameda that they officially intend to leave. No one has heard the Raiders say we're gone. Understand? No one has heard the Raiders say we're gone. Anyone who tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. As of this point in time, 12:35 in the morning, Friday, January 3rd. Wow, year's going by all right fast, isn't it? We had first Wednesday, second Thursday, and now we're into just starting. We're about what, 35 minutes into Friday, January 3rd. So there's the information. This is, by the way, not going to be a long live stream because I need to get rest and continue to get ready for the trip. See, I got my CES copies here. Follow my coverage there. I'm really excited. This is my 10th year at CES as press. This is NE62 Media, which is now a Delaware corporation, by the way, as you may have heard on Monday. Yes. Really excited about that. So at any rate, let me Candy Girl, how you doing, Candy Girl? Welcome. Candy Girl asks, will you ever post those other stadium photos? Yes, I will. In fact, Candy Girl, I'm going to do that tonight. Okay? I'm going to do that tonight. Because I need to, and that's my fault. I was looking for a particular piece of information that I think I can fly without. Okay? And I'll just say I think I can fly without. In fact, let me take the I think and switch that to I know I can fly without it. All right? I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, that's an R. Kelly song. Anyway. To which R. Kelly is probably singing that song right now. He's probably singing, I believe I can fly out of this jail. I believe I can. Oh, my man. Oh, boy. Oh, what a sad sack. But I digress. Happy New Year, everybody. Let me read your comments. Most recently, going backward. Candy Girl says, gotcha, thanks. Cesar Canente says, the Raiders moving to Las Vegas seems like a really bad deal. All this drama and delays of the Vegas stadium seems like a sign the Raiders shouldn't move to Las Vegas. And John Mark says, have a good time in Vegas. I'm taking Mom. I'm really excited. Richard Carson, how you doing? Richard says, if they don't get that stadium done for 2020, do the Raiders take a financial hit? Great question. On its face, yes. Well, not. Let me put it this way. The financial hit would be more toward Mortensen than the Raiders. The Raiders, to my knowledge, don't have any obligations that would hold them to paying a financial penalty if the season didn't start, by the time that they believed it would. First of all statements aside that have been to the contrary by other people, the simple fact of the matter is that anyone looking at the original construction schedule would be lying if they told you the Raiders Stadium was not behind schedule. It simply is. It simply is. Sure, for example, April 8th of last year, we can say now, the cable net roof structure was supposed to have been risen in place. And now where it's there is, if you take a look at it closely, it's raised, but it's not attached. Note that, okay? The drama will be when they really start working on it after they built the rest of the stadium structure around it. And they better hope that they don't get a situation where it starts snowing in there, okay, and raining. You get those freeze conditions. Lord, that's going to be hell to deal with. And yet, where we are in the facility's timing is such that it's heading toward a season that, if you take a look at the original construction schedule, is such that the roof would have been closed by now. It's not there, okay? They are way behind. Anyone who's saying they're not is to be just simply what you should do is don't call anybody or make fun of them. Just go, ugh, okay? Kind of like if you ever watched Addams Family and Lurch, just go like this. Oh, Okay. Hey, Chi, how you doing? And G says there will be storms on the West Coast all January. See, I think CES. I was at CES 2 years ago, and it rained. Rained 3 straight days. And in fact, I made a couple of vlogs over at the stadium during the rains. Those rains have hit recently too. I think as recently as a month ago now. So they are by no means out of the woods in terms of being able to say they're going to be ready. They're just not. If you take a look at the latest Raider video that features the great Mike Rowe talking about the stadium facility and its latest construction um, considerations regarding safety and procedures. And in the middle, there is a very cool segment that features an animation of the stadium. Take a look at the top of that, where the press box is going to be. That press box appears to be hanging in air, but it's actually attached to where the compression rings are, the same compression rings that have been the focus of the problem regarding the bad bolts and welds. Thank you for the investment. Bill Musgrave to Cal. Great move. Is Bill Musgrave going to Cal? Is that the news? Holy cow. Wait a minute. Holy Golden Bears. Wait a minute. That is huge. Wait a minute. Bill Musgrave? That is huge. Man, Bill Musgrave to Cal? That is huge. Yep. Report. Cal expected to hire Bill Musgrave as new offensive coordinator. That's huge. I mean, that is huge. It's set here. Bill Musgrave, football coach. He is the offensive coordinator of the California Golden Bears, a former quarterback, offensive multiple. That's great. That's great. And yeah, welcome to Berkeley, Bill Musgrave. That was just announced a couple hours ago. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, that is really huge. That means we're going to have a top flight offense, and we're getting a person that you know he does he want to be a head coach at Cal? Is that I wonder about his future, or is he just coming there to? I mean, it's fantastic, right? It is really great. Is he the key to our Rose Bowl fortunes? I wonder. And we've got the defense. This is quite exciting. Quite exciting. Thank you for telling me that. Go Bears. Woohoo! Go Bears. So at any rate, Candy Girl says it would be awkward for a partial stay in Coliseum. And John Akala, how you doing? He says Happy New Year. Alex Barboza says Happy New Year, Zen. Happy New Year to you too. John Marks, I'm blessed to have you here. And I'll get to your more recent comments. And Chi, that's major. Thank you. Thank you for the highlight there and the investment. Kenny G says if the Raiders come back to Oakland, do the Oakland fans want Carr back? Because from his tweets yesterday, wanted fresh air in Vegas. I think that was one of those, I call them setup. I think that's a setup question that produced that kind of answer. Okay. Because it puts Derek Carr in the unfortunate position of having to say something negative about Vegas or negative about Oakland. So he chose the middle. And of course he was clouded by being booed and everything. And he doesn't know the particulars, but as much as others do, okay? And but look, I want to hear the question that caused him to produce that answer, because there's a lot of setup that goes on with reporters who have their own agenda in terms of wanting to steer thought a certain way, and so look, set up a person to give a certain answer, and next thing you know, you get this pro Vegas, seemingly anti-Oakland output. But I think in his heart of hearts, if he knows he has to come back to Oakland, Derek Carr will know that he's got to play, he's got to deliver. He can't, and that the team has to play and they have to deliver too. You can't just say, okay, well, we're out of here, right? I think he knows that. I want to hear the question that was tossed at him before I take that bait. Welcome to Zenny62, everybody. And so Yes, Jack Del Rio is the defensive coordinator for the Redskins. Hey, as Redskins owner Dan Snyder said, "Happy Thanksgiving." I thought that was hilarious. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Poor Dan. I like Dan. Um, Cesar Canete says, "What are your thoughts of Jack Del Rio being hired as the Raiders defensive coordinator? He was the best coach we've had in a long time. I believe it was a major mistake dumping him for John Gruden. I think at the time, talking about firing Jack Del Rio, was it a mistake? Hmm. Uh, the problem with Jack's approach on defense, which is the major issue, because remember he had Bill Musgrave as the offense coordinator to do well. I thought the problem was, and I've talked about this before, is the lack of two gapping, the technique issues where linemen, as we noted back then, were always caught high. Okay, in other words, the defensive linemen were not keeping pads low against their offensive counterparts, and they were being stood up, pushed around, and if you're two gapping and you're in that position, as opposed to forcing your vector this way, uh, it becomes harder to defend against the run. So I felt the change was necessary, and I like that Gruden from the start said, "Look, we're going to bring in Paul Gunther. We're going to single gap. We're going to play the four-man front." I was sold. That was a big issue with me. Okay, so I don't feel, sorry to say, I don't feel that the Raiders were worse off in that area since you asked. Uh, the Coach Gruden's problems are more. All right, look, to be sure, we have problems defensively because of the adjustment that we haven't made with respect to not using zone, using more man press, using more blitz. Um, Gunther's approach is not as aggressive as it needs to be. It is not as it is not as effective. Let me change this. Gunther's approach. The, the problem with Paul Gunther's approach is that it doesn't use enough formations that specifically take advantage of a type of offensive weakness. For example, if you're going to play a 3-by-1, three wide receivers here, one wide receiver here, one back, generally in a 2 position or the 3 position, which means either offensive tackle. When you see that today, you see that running back in the 2 or 3 position, right? You have to drill yourself to think it's going to be one of those not circle passes, I think bubble screens. Okay, so you position you should bring your linebackers up to wait for them. Gunther doesn't do that. All right, bring your linebacker up to wait for them. Take your defensive end, crash them down between the guard and the tackle. Bring your linebacker up and go and then bring him in. Okay, make the quarterback come in from the weak side, test the ability of the back to block the corner linebacker, and then send the corner linebacker on a seek and destroy mission for the quarterback. Don't worry about the read option. Make that the corner linebacker's objective for that. Note that formation, okay? So, and Tom Landry was a genius at this. The if, then, else set of rules for running a defense. If they line up in this formation, then you come and you line up here. If not, then you go over here. It changes based on the game plan. So every single week, the Dallas Cowboys had a special game plan designed, specifically fit for their opponent. So the flex defense was truly a flexible defense, okay? So and I'm not saying that Gunther and Gruden's people don't think this way. They do, but with a difference. They're not playing, how to explain this? They're not playing a particular defense that is shiftable and flexible, all right, as I say, and so the alignment is different. They may scrap one alignment and try another one, but within that alignment, they're not adjusting. Does that make sense? Okay? And therein lay the problem. So if you have one alignment, let's say you've got, just for grins, let's say you're playing a wide tackle 6, all right? And because in your analysis before the game, you figure, hey, I'm going to get these jet sweeps, and my wide tackle 6 can stop the jet sweep better. But when you play a wide tackle 6, what are you doing? You're leaving it open for the quarterback. So in the actual gameplay, you call that formation, but then what happens when you don't have an adjustment for the middle linebacker? If the middle linebacker senses or reads, has done his own formation study like Ray Lewis, and says, hey, you know what? That quarterback can run on us, so I better plug the middle, all right? If you don't have something to call and say, hey, middle linebacker, defensive end lineup, in the center guard gap, right? You are vulnerable to the quarterback run up the middle. Simple. Okay? Because you didn't allow for that an adjustment within that formation you called. That's the problem, as I see it. Now, all these are fixable problems. These are in-game alterations the Raiders can make along the way of becoming a more flexible in-game adjustment organization. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's why I like Gunther, because sure, he may have that problem as I perceive it, but I like the fact that he's not too gapping. I like the fact that they were better against the run. I don't like the zones. I prefer man for man. I prefer the simple physics of a press man, the old Buddy Ryan approach of let's make them get rid of the ball before they want to, which is very effective. Very effective. So, and I think it would be more effective today than in the past, and that's the kind of approach that I think the Raiders should do, and I think they have a better chance of using it with Gunther than with Jack Del Rio. And will Jack Del Rio carry that problem with him to the Redskins? Yeah, it's a problem with the Seattle style of defense that's popular, which is why I can't stand it. You're spreading your defensive linemen all over the offensive line formation rather than constricting their movements to within the tackles, okay? So you're creating these bubble areas for yourself, and you're asking the middle linebackers to make up for this space. Excuse me, not the middle linebackers, but your inside linebackers. You're taking your corner linebackers and you're making them inside linebackers. All right? I wholly object, 1,000,000,000% object to that approach. That's philosophy. That's philosophy. So let me get back to your comments here. And Aaron C says, we need Teddy Bridgewater. He's done with Carr. And Aaron's, how you doing, man? I'm good. Rockstar Bonnie is here. And he says, second channel movie is sad that it left Oklahoma. And One Love, Black Lion Supreme, love that you're here. And Black Lion says, on Monday, the Raiders quarterback was asked by reporters. We got that part about Sin City. That's what ignited all this. Thank you very much. And David Howson says, being a Raider fan from the 70s, I don't remember, quote, Raider Nation, unquote, back then or even in the 80s. Can't stand it. Raider, that whole nation thing was a sort of a child of the internet, if you think about it. Raider P says, Gunther defensive schemes were never good, even with the Bengals. Actually, I think Gunther's schemes against the run are good. I like what he's done against the run. Against the pass, with particular that zone that they play, okay? John Mark says, the Raider Nation was invented in L.A. Aaron C. says, we need Teddy Bridgewater. He's done with Carr. John Mark says, Raiders shouldn't have left Oakland ever. Thank you, Joe Bort. Talking about the famous Bart director there. Raiders P wants, he says, Cowboys fire Garrett. Whoa! Hey, wait a minute. Jason Garrett is fired? Holy fick holy. Whoa, Jason Garrett is fired. Cowboys to move on without Jason Garrett. That was 2 hours ago. Cowboys decide to move on from Jason Garrett after 13 years. Man, it's about time. He has been coaching the Cowboys since he was 40. I mean, I know he's saved enough money by now. Jeez, it's like, my God. Oh, my Lord. This is something else. This is worth it. You know what? I think I'll do a live stream on this early tomorrow. I'll have to because I got to go to sleep to get up there. Oh, boy. All this news is breaking out. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. This is, oh, my head is hurting. Jason Garrett. This just happened. It's not even a worldwide trend yet. This is crazy. Oh, this is crazy. Unbelievable. Okay. Who will be Jason Garrett's? Who? Oh, wow. That's. I gotta tell my mom. She's a Cowboys fan. No, they really fired him. Drew Lock and the Broncos. Well, Drew Lock is a lock. Bet on it. Jen Marks. Drew Lock is going to give the Raiders problems. I don't care if it's Oakland or Vegas. Drew Lock with that offense, he's going to give Raiders problems. It's going to be fun to watch him. He's a good quarterback and a great leader. Black Lion says, Oakland Raiders for life, no matter where they play. Raiders, please says, yes, breaking news. G says, Jerry Jones got pressured by the season ticket holders to make a change at coach or else. Jesus Mertz says, Garrett is coming back to the Cowboys. What? No. John Mark says, I can't say that, BLS. Dixon, how you doing? Deshaun Dixon says, how about the possible lawsuit granting in March? Discovery would be tough on the NFL and the Raiders. No kidding, pal. Black, great to have you here, by the way. Happy New Year. Black Lion says the greatest moments in Raider history will always be rooted in Oakland. Yep. So does John Mark say, yep. Edward Reed, how you doing, man? Edward Reed, Happy New Year, my friend. Edward Reed says, Happy New Year's in. My god brother wishes a stadium were put to a vote in Vegas. It would have been thumbs down. You know what? The polls pointed to that early on. You're absolutely right. But hey, here we are. It's going to be fascinating to see how all this unfolds. All right. John Mark says, how does NFL expansion feel in Oakland? I don't hear anyone talking about it. And we have such a change in our population that I think people would be open to it. But there's a group that's almost disinterested, which I've never seen before. And I never thought I'd say before about Oakland. But if the next owner of the Raiders, the new Raiders, okay, the invaders, were from the community, well-moneyed, and well-respected. And when I say from the community, the Oakland community, the East Bay community, the Bay Area community, that would translate into the team's popularity and success. If that person were, partnered with a real estate developer and they were willing to build this the private sector way without a lot of obvious public money, and with a housing component, affordable housing component, because we have a huge problem there, I think they would be very well received. But they would have to follow that line. Okay, they would have to follow that line to achieve success. No question about it. Political success. Okay, and so Black Lion says, I now, without a shadow of a doubt, blame the city of Oakland for this. John Marks, blame both. Raider P says, yes, Adam Chef reported Cowboys part ways with Garrett. Happy New Year, peeps. Zen. Thank you, Raider P. Happy New Year to you too, Al. John Marks says, blame both, BLS. Yep. John Marks speaks for me. Chi says, subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you, Chi. You the man. Raiders P says, yep. Black Lion says, our team deserves a new stadium in Oakland. Should have made that happen. Well, Black Lion. I want you to see something, okay? And I want you to take a look at this. And maybe you didn't see it before. Hey, everybody, welcome to Zenny62 on YouTube. Maybe you didn't see what I'm about to show you before, But if you didn't, it's quite important that you see it right now. Mesa. Let's see, Raiders. There's architect. Raiders architect. Okay, and let's see, where were these? Raiders architect. Yeah, there it is. Mies Architects. Raiders. There we go. And one moment, please. Search Raiders Mies and wahaha, here we go. Some of you may remember the time that I was down doing this live stream from the kitchen there, and I was looking up drawings and I found this little bad boy. Not so little. Remember that? Okay, remember that? And it led to this headline. Oakland Raiders' new Coliseum NFL stadium design concept you never saw. This was, and remember, Mies had said that this was for a developer. Right, okay, yeah. Now, you may have forgot what I told you. Scott McKibben personally told me he saw that drawing in a meeting he had that he attended with then Oakland City Administrator Claudia Campio at the Raiders facility. You hear what I'm saying? At the Raiders facility. There were two drawings. That one and another one that looked like this. Here's another one, okay? Yeah. Here's another one, yeah. This one, right? Yeah, don't forget these because these weren't posted. These were created in 2016, right? But they weren't posted until 2018. That's the one that Nate Miley told me he saw. This is the one that's like the Seattle Stadium. I remember when he told me he saw that in 2016. I wrote about that. And then I kept asking him about it. And he went radio silent. Okay? Then these things popped up. Still an unfinished story. And then get this, okay? You want to help me close the loop on this? Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. All right? Because I just realized it sitting here talking with you. A person explained to me that Nate Miley asked Scott McKibben to hire Don Parada at $25,000 using JPA money. Okay? This came from Oakland, Alameda County Supervisor Nate Miley. All right? Hey, Eric, how you doing? Okay? A directive to Scott McKibben to hire the legendary former state senator Don Parada on matters related to, he said, public financing regarding stadiums. Okay? It was very vague. All right? Then, okay, just work with me. Then, Miley tells me he saw that drawing. And this is what I think. I'm putting two and two together, and I'm coming up with a hypothetical for. I think that Nate Miley steered that money to Don Parada to get those drawings done for Raiders Stadium, in if not the Coliseum, Alameda County. That's what I think. And they did it in conjunction with the Raiders, but they kept everything hush hush. Why they kept it hush hush, I don't know. I know the Raiders like to work that way, but why Miley would go along with it, if my hypothesis is true. Okay, this is speculative. And I admit that, if my hypothesis is true, why Miley would do that? Well, hey, look, I've done projects for the Raiders that I was asked not to talk about. I can tell you that much, a long time ago. So I get that. And I was representing the mayor of Oakland. Okay? Oh, and by the way, no, there was no For those of you who might be wondering, it wasn't anything weird or underhanded. It wasn't, okay? I was economic advisor to the mayor, helping the Raiders. Proud to do it. Okay. So, and I did it. And some of you have been to the games that came because of it. Anyway, bottom line is, because of my own experience with the silver and black, coupled with these drawings and the knowledge I have regarding Miley and Parod and everything else, I'm fitting this all together into what it looks like. I don't know that it actually is. But what I do know is that those drawings exist, A, and B, the complete story behind those drawings has never been told. I know those two things. Oh, and the third thing, therefore Raiders Stadium. And the fourth thing, we know who the architect is. And the fifth thing, we know they're freaking cool. Okay. Care to add a sixth, a seventh, or an eighth? I'm all ears. Let me read your comments. And John Marks says the city of Oakland should have offered the land the Raiders an NFL fact. I agree. Cheese says I feel bad for Des Bryant, Tony Romo, and others that had to suffer under the Jerry Jones puppet of Jason Garrett. Rated P says Harbaugh rumored. Oh, Jesus Marais says yes, Jason Garrett has been fired today. Wow. But Musgrave was a Cal Bear. That's huge, man. Thoughts on Trump killing that Iran blankety blank? Not here. Not the place. Aaron C says serious Raiders P Harbaugh. Sean Watson, how you doing, man? And Happy New Year. Caesar says Hugh Jackson is Jason Garrett's replacement. Raider, I think Hugh Jackson would be a great fit with Jason Garrett myself. Raiders P says, but I don't know if Harbaugh will leave Michigan. Probably not. Wright Abbott says Marty Schottenheimer. Well, he may. Because I don't think Harbaugh wants to get around on Michigan on a rail. That would be embarrassing. Wright Abbott says Marty Schottenheimer, Mike Shanahan, and Bill Parcells should be Cowboys coach. No, I completely disagree. They had these guys. Give some younger fellows a chance. Aaron C says look. Shanahan, Schottenheimer, nah. Parcells was there already. No. Aaron C says he's getting paid bank in Michigan. Yep. Wright Abbott says that, well, but you know what? As much bank as he's getting in Michigan, he get more with the Cowboys. Wright Abbott says that if Jerry decided he'd go in that direction. Wright Abbott says if age doesn't matter. John Akala, message retracted. Jack Bauer, how you doing? Happy New Year. He says NFL ain't coming back to Oakland. Don't know about that one, man. Never say never. There was even a movie called that. Jesus says blame both the Raiders, deserve a new stadium. Jack Bauer says sorry to say. I say never. Ed Reed says don't feel sorry for Garrett. When he was offensive coordinator in Dallas, he was making $3 million a year. Caesar says promote Mike Trogovac to defensive coordinator and switch the defense to a single gap 3-4. I like it. I want to see Arden Key used more, and I would love to see him converted to outside linebacker. Actually, I like that. I'm not adverse to a 3-4, particularly. The only issues I ever have with the 3-4 have to do again with the bubble area between the inside linebackers. Single gap 3-4 with either end or both ends playing inside, therefore masking the tackle guard gap is fine. In fact, that's actually in vogue in college right now. Aaron C says we need a secondary in the draft. Yep. Sean Watson says that would be great. And Aaron C says I remember that. Black Lion says he's I remember. Eric Young says hello. Black Lion says had Oakland put you in charge of sports operations, the A's, Warriors, and the Raiders would be in Oakland. Damn Skippy. John Mark says I would not let the Raiders out of Oakland without. I would have contracted with the sheriffs to basically stop them. That's how crazy I am. Okay. They would not have left Oakland. No way. Sorry. I mean, I would have done everything in the book, above board, on their side, underhanded, whatever, to keep them in Oakland. They would not have left the city. We would have given them what they wanted, but they would not have left the city. Period. at all. End of story. Every secret deal? No, I would have gone around and bought up land around the Las Vegas Strip just to make sure they didn't have it to buy. Seriously. I would have taken 100 million and said, okay, I'll take that. So what are you doing? Oh, just investment money. We're gonna flip it anyway, right? We get our money back. Las Vegas is growing. Just keep it quiet. Because we used to do those things in the days past in Oakland, secret projects like that. I'm not kidding you, okay? That's what you do when you want to win. Oh, they're going to buy that property. I have a rumor that that's available. How much is it? 500,000? Buy it. $1 million? Buy it. Because the land was cheap then, right? 1.8 million? Buy it. Now it's double, okay? Heck, I'd buy all that land. They would have no place to go. Well, the Raiders are trying to find land, but they can't seem to close a deal anywhere. Gee, I wonder why. Okay? I'm not kidding you. So, all right. So, Thomas Lopez says the stadium deal in Las Vegas is going to be done by next season. It'll be done by next season, yeah. 2020 is another story. This is dicey. They need to do this right. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Terrell Johnson says Marty Schottenheimer has Alzheimer's. I had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing Marty Schottenheimer. He's a class act. I didn't know that. That's sad news. Black Lion says, I rest my case. Eric Young says, I like Parcells better. Aaron says, not true. Nathan Frederick, welcome. Nathan says, question. What do the Raiders and Chick-fil-A have in common? Answer, neither shows up on Sundays. Ooh, ouch. Raiders P says, NFL doesn't care about the fan base in different cities, only cares about money and profit sharing. Okay. Folks, it is 1:12. I'm going to stop early. Happy New Year. Possibly back tomorrow. No, I will be back tomorrow. What I'm going to do after this, though, is I'm going to make an individual video on Bill Musgrave joining the Cal Bears. I'm really excited about that. It'll be a few seconds. And I'm going to make one about Jason Garrett. I already made one about Ron Rivera. Thank you, everybody. And Aaron, yeah, I do like Carr. I mean, I think you're the same. You may be the same person that and another guy's asked me if I liked Carr before, and then came back a few years ago and said that I hated Derek Carr, something I didn't. What I didn't like was that the Raiders anointed him as the quarterback without a fair fight. Okay, I felt that they were a little too rushed in sticking him in without a competition against really great quarterbacks. But that said, you have to at some point make a decision as to who you're going to go with and ride it. And I think they did it with the right person. He is a gift to the community without question, and a mechanically great quarterback who deserves a more mobile system. In other words, what I mean by that is not that John doesn't move him around. He does. But John could roll him out more. And I don't mean the play action waggles and bootlegs that are so popular. I mean classic rollouts like Montana did with Walsh. You run to a point just outside, a yard outside the offensive tackle, and you throw on time. Okay, I love that. Okay, I love that. Do I love the Redskins coaching hires? Yeah, I do. I think. Look, techniques aside, Jack Del Rio is a true leader and a great person. Ron Del Rio is a true leader and a great person. These are coaches. These are men that these players would get behind and I think perform very well for. I'm curious to see who the offensive coordinator is. I know what I'm going to get defensively. I am uncomfortable with that unless Jack is willing to change his philosophy. Or maybe Ron, we'll see how that works out. But Jack has had great credentials overall as a defensive coordinator with the Broncos, and I think that he'll repeat that. Okay, so in other teams, I think he'll repeat that, and of course, going back to Jacksonville and every other place, right? So the Redskins are in great hands. They've got a great brain, a great leadership-oriented brain trust. I think that's a great way to put it. So there's the answer to your question. And uh, let's see, Hennessy, how you doing? And let's see, John Akala. Wait a minute. John Mark says, watch horror films, keep America strong. Ron Della says, some interesting free agents out there soon, yes. John Akala says, what do you think Raiders would do if Las Vegas Stadium ever fell through stay in Oakland? Yes, and they would get a new stadium. Hennessy says, question mark. Greater Peace says, Carr is good when you have weapons also who could stretch the field. Black Lion says, we forget so quickly what it was like before Carr. True. Joseph Bensman, how you doing, buddy? He says, do you like the Redskin Raider hires? I answered that one. Raider P says, Gruden needs to change his offensive schemes and in-game adjustments. Yes. Black Lion Supreme says, exactly, Raider P. Deplorable Joker says, I heard the Vegas Stadium looks nice. The Vegas Stadium is beautiful, dude. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's going to be more beautiful. It's quite beautiful, okay? Look, I might talk about the issues, but I'm not going to deny the obvious. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again and again and again and again and again. Las Vegas needs that facility, just like it needs MSG Sphere. As it moves further into the 21st century, it needs the large-scale event center. It's been jonesing for this thing for a long, long time. It's finally going to get it. Just do it right. That's all I ever say. Nathan Frederick says, favorite football movie? Jerry Maguire, featuring my friend Lee Steinberg. Raider P says, Gruden's to blame for his play calling. And John Akala says the word that I'm going to say to you right now. Good night. Black Lion says, it would look so good in Oakland. It would, wouldn't it? Hey, someone needs to Photoshop that thing in Oakland. I don't know why no one's done that. It's just, someone do that, please. Do I have to do everything? Does someone just take that orb and just put it in the Coliseum? It would go nuts and viral. It would be huge. Please do it. There's 53 of you watching it. Somebody get out there and go to work. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, see ya. And Happy New Year. Thanks.